Meet Brian Okoli, founder of Mamae Foods and Blue Afrique Media. After losing a close friend to cancer,
we eat a whole lot of things and they're not actually very healthy. A whole lot of preservatives. 80 to 40% of the spices on the market are not healthy. So we found a niche in spice.
he was driven to rethink the impact of everyday food on our health.
Before you put anything in your food, can you check what the spice or the seasoning is actually made of? Our product doesn't have any chemical, MSG, preservative, just natural and organic.
He created Mamae Foods, an organic spices brand now distributed in stores across Nigeria and Sweden.
In the city of Enugu, we are like in over 10 stores. We are doing well with the Scandinavian market. We have a distributor in Sweden.
His story goes beyond business. It's about purpose and turning pain into impact. Hello and welcome to Chioma Meets. Today I'm in Enugu, aka Coal City, to meet none other than Brian Okoli. Stay tuned.
Hi, Chioma.
Hi,
Nice to
Brian.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Welcome to our office.
So, thank you for having me today, Brian.
You're welcome.
How's your day going so far?
Good, fine.
So, tell me a bit about you.
My name is Brian Okoli. I work with Blue Afrique Media. I don't like the word own because I have partners. I work with Blue Afrique Media, then 360 Media Company. We've been running for 12 years, worked with both international and local companies. We're based in Enugu. We also have our office in Abuja. Currently expanding and pivoting into FMCG. We also own a company called Mamae, which is a healthy food brand. We've been running for 1 year plus now. So that is me.
Okay, so what inspired you to start Blue Afrique Media?
Blue Afrique Media started in 2014. Then nothing was actually happening in the East as much as is happening now. A lot of brands at that point, the mode of advertising they were doing, that was also when new media was actually kicking off in the East. So we stepped in to help a lot of businesses amplify what they do, what they sell, and also help them be able to reach global audience. Then we just had few media companies. We didn't have any 360 advertising agency in the East that I know of. A lot of businesses had challenges then in terms of their logo, their branding, what they look, perception. We were coming out from that whole normal Igbo, everybody doing it the whole traditional way. So we stepped in and we saw a niche. Then we stepped in. So it's been 12 years since we started. There was just more of out of a passion to help a lot of businesses be able to market and sell themselves and be able to compete at the global level. Because I know then when you look at big brands, they were all in Lagos. When you look at brands in the East, just very few they were doing. So we wanted to also have that same thing that brands enjoy in Lagos. Also wanted a lot of companies here to enjoy. So that's how we started Blue Afrique Media. So I have 3 of my partners. But the funny thing is that we are all Igbo boys, but we are from different Eastern states. Okay. Like I'm from Enugu, Anugu is from Anambra, Michael is from Imo. So we came together and just said, okay, let's do this since we have passion for media. Anugu is a photographer and a cinematographer. Michael is a graphic designer. Me, I also understand the digitals and writing. So we mixed our skills to start a company. We're not doing it to make money. We're doing it as a hobby. Something, okay, let's do this. We loved it. But at some point, we switched and converted it to business fully. We had Blueprint. Blueprint started before Blue Afrique. Okay. Blueprint is telling African stories. It was more of an online newspaper telling African stories. So we started from Blueprint telling African stories, helping profile businesses in the East, amplification of what they do, events coverage and hosting of events. That's where we started. And from there we now said, okay, let's add branding and help businesses, because then what we're doing telling African stories, helping brands understand their voice, push them, put them online. Then a whole lot of people didn't know what Instagram was as of 2014 in the East. We're helping a lot of businesses set up their digital platforms. Then the most buzzing platform then was Bella Naija. Everybody wanted to be on Bella Naija. And Bella Naija was doing well, still doing well at this point. So we saw that we built Blueprint to also have something big like that in the East. Then from there, we also moved to opening a 360 media company, also because we've seen a lot of gap while doing Blueprint for a lot of businesses here, so we took the opportunity.
How did you find your first customer?
So our first client for Blueprint is a comedian called Forever the Preacher.
Okay.
So then his show in Enugu, he was the first person that believed in us, and I think he paid us 5,000. That 5,000 we used the money to rent camera because we didn't have any equipment. Rent the camera, you rent lens.
Okay. For
5K. Then I think we trekked to the event because the money was not even enough for us to transport ourselves.
How long was the trek?
It's long ago. Can't remember. It's long ago.
Would it have been over 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are really...
It was more of passion for us at that point. And we just love every single thing about media. So it wasn't about how much we were making. It was about the impact we want to make and the love for the region and what we actually wanted to contribute. So that was the first client for Blueprint. But the first client for Blue Africa that actually gave us money that we used to incorporate Barrister Chioma Meets. So she gave us to be in charge of every single thing that has to do with her wedding, the printing, the flex, the banner. So that was the first money that we made together as a company. So when we made that money from Chioma, we decided to use it to incorporate a company that's Blue Africa. But Blueprint, which is our subsidiary online newspaper, started before our 360 Media company.
So how did you go from just 3 people, 3 founders of a company, to this sort of vast team that you have today?
I'll just say first, sorry, I'm a church person. I would say God, child. I would say God, but we have passion for what we do, and we are people who continuously develop ourselves. Every now and then, we used to come to Lagos, see what they are doing. We come back here, we do it. If we come to Lagos, we see an event they are doing, we come back here, we try it out. So I would just say that when we started, we paved way for the region for most of what is happening now. I can remember we hosted a full-blown event called Digital Plus Conference. We had more than 200 people teaching them how to use digitals for their business. Then if you talk to somebody about Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, or having a proper Gmail, is like alien to them. So we learned all these things in Lagos. So we always go to Lagos. We see what they are doing. We come back here. We do it. Then over the years, we worked with a whole lot of international brands that have been able to also pay us well for us to be able to expand. Then I think last 2 years, we also went into content production. We have a film on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, we invested in it.
You didn't tell me that.
It just came out. We have a film on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Once Upon a Honeymoon. But we also did it in partnership, because one thing over the years that we've also learned as a business is that we are big on partnership and collaboration.
Okay.
We did that project with Amasamist and Osho Emmanuel. One of the things that brought us together was our skills. So me, I'm more of a strategist and a digital person. So when we aligned most of the services that we wanted to offer, we started filling people in. We've worked with a whole lot of people that have transitioned, people that have even built their own media company and all, because which we're happy. When I see their growth, I'm very happy. So when we align most of the services that we wanted, we started filling people in. We brought in a whole lot of people at that point. Our first office at New Haven, Marcus Garvey, we had like 4 people. Then we moved to our office in New Haven. Like, this is the 3rd office we've moved in the space of 12 years. Here we have up to 25 people that work here now, on site. Then the rest online. And so that's how we've been able to build. So every single time we feel a need, and as the company expands, we try to get more people involved, because we have multiple companies that we're working for. We're servicing multiple clients at the same time. And we also understand that for us to be able to do that, we need a solid team. But another thing that is also at the core of the people that work here is we try as much as possible to train them, and we have a work culture. Our work culture is something that have been able to keep us, because building an agency in the East this long is one of the things the whole of few people have been able to do, because the region is still getting used to the agency culture. The region is an emerging market. The market is not like Lagos, where there are plenty agencies. So we do a whole lot of training, getting the best hands. Like, we took Jerry from NYC. He's been with us for close to 4 years now. There's a whole lot of people, even Ifeanyi that is here. When Ifeanyi joined, was an intern photographer. And I can remember the first time somebody brought Ifeanyi and someone said, oh, we don't want him. But how many years down the line, he's like a top photographer here. We bring these people, we train them. We've not employed anybody from a big agency, because nobody will come from Lagos down to the East to say, oh, I want to come and work with an agency here. Are we of that standard? Yes. But Lagos, everybody wants to go to Lagos. So most of the people that have even gone to Lagos, this is like a pass through for them. We train, we nurture them, and we pay well. In 2014, we are like one of the highest paying agencies in the East. And most of the interns that are here, we also send them to school. So I'll give an example. We have an intern that is here that we picked from being a gateman. We taught him videography, and he's in school. We also have the other one that the head of department, Noel is like the oldest staff that have worked in Blue Africa. He's been here for 9 years now. He's been with us for 9 years now. He just picked him, and we just say, okay, we're going to teach you, but we're also going to send you to school, because aside as working and having a skill, we also want you to go to school. That's our own investment. It's not about, we are not 100% profit driven as a company, we also look at the place for impact and the skill that we're giving you in the nearest future, what is also going to do for you. So we also have our values that have kept us. Somebody will say, oh, you're meant to focus on 100% profit, make your board. People are different. You're also looking at a region where the Toronto Tertiary Institution, a lot of young people. So if you see anybody that you can train, give a good job, then if you can afford it, why not do it? So it's part of us as a company. One thing about an Igbo man is, an Igbo man wants to help the next person. An Igbo man has that whole, if I come up, another person should come up. Yeah, and I think we have it in us. We have a lot of people who are not Igbo still work here. I don't care where you are from. If I can help you and you have the skill and the right attitude, 100%, because somebody also helped me. When I was in school, I was working for a sitting governor, and not like it was just someone who took me by the hands and said, okay, I'm going to help you, teach you media, and put you on. And also, I'm also a product of someone holding my hand. So when I see somebody else, I'm also going to hold their hands. I'm actually going to do that.
What drove you to entrepreneurship?
First of all, the passion and the drive and the love for what you do. But another thing is, I come from a home where my parents are civil servants, and I've actually seen what the system looks like. You always hear stories of pension this, pension that, and I didn't want that for myself. So that's, and for stability, also drove most of us to entrepreneurship. Even like three of my partners will tell you, we've seen the kind of family we come from, we want better for ourselves. And yeah, civil service is good, but we didn't feel like we're going to get the kind of life we're looking for from that. And we are actually people who create jobs. But every single thing we've invested in, being part of, taking on, is about creating jobs. Opening up for everybody to come in. Like what we're doing with Mamae, you're also solving a problem, but also creating jobs. Mamae at this point has up to like 11 people working, and they're paid. And we're even using the whole pay day system. So we're even paying them more than anybody that will go through the civil. I'm not against it, but everybody has their ideologies and what works for them.
What are some of the challenges that you faced as a Nigerian entrepreneur, as an Igbo entrepreneur focused on the East, in the East?
Raising funds to actually invest in the business. I remember when we were doing Blue Africa Media, for us to raise funds, even when you go to bank and you say, oh, what do you do? I run a media company. First of all, nobody's giving you a dime. Nobody's giving you a dime. And the culture to invest in sectors like media is still not there. Even now that we're in FMCG, we trying to raise money has also been a challenge. And although we are working on it, but I know in the developed world, it's not going to be as hard as it is now. Like us, we are facing it here. Raising from the environment, taxation, and you also have your staff. No matter how much you pay them, the economy is shaky. They will transport, they will eat when they look at it. So it's hard to build in the East. I will say it. I know, yes, the East is coming up, but it's hard to build in the East. The support in terms of investment, the investment culture in the East is still coming up. Is not yet there like in the West, where a lot of companies have actually raised. If you do your research, you actually find out that a lot of companies in the East don't have external investment. We still rely on the old system. You find your uncle or your auntie that will give you money. But what of a lot of people that are not from rich homes that have aunties and uncles to give them money? With Blue Africa Media, we are stable to an extent because we have a lot of international brands on our belt. But now that we are building a new brand, it's difficult to raise, and it's actually affecting a whole lot. Cost of production, cost of raw material, and even the cost of the product at the end user.
But don't you believe that not trusting the banks enough to go to the bank to take a loan is one of the reasons why maybe business is, or raising capital is stunted in this region?
The thing is, the banks are there for business, and they're not interested whether your story is good or whether you're going to build the next unicorn or you're going to build the best thing after Apple. They're not interested. That you're 37%. And as a small business, if you take bank loan at 37% per year, you're not going to break even.
So you've talked a bit about your parents and them being civil servants. Were they supportive of you wanting to be an entrepreneur, or did they want you to go off and use your degree?
Okay, first of all, I wanted to be a priest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wanted to be a priest. Then,
You wanted to be a priest?
yeah, seminary school. I just wanted to be a priest.
Lord God.
At that point, then when it wasn't working, I came out. Then I went to missionary school. Then from missionary school, I also went to a lot of pastoral training, something like that. But growing up, my dad used to work in Nitel.
Okay.
Then my mom tried the whole of business, from selling Gary to selling Otrika. So I was my mom's favorite. So I used to follow her to the market. So I understand buying and selling.
Your mom's favorite. You're
Yeah.
seeing it on camera.
Yeah, sorry. My siblings, sorry. But I understand buying and selling.
Okay.
Because even when I used to sell okrika with my mom, so there's this thing when they finish selling the first, second grade, like the last grade, they'll tell you to take it to one corner where that place they just want to sell it off.
Okay.
They then sells for 50 naira.
Okay.
Me, I will leave that corner where they sell it for 50 naira and go to the side where they sell for 200 naira, and I will be there. And I was doing this as a student, even when I was in school. That was Semper Fidelis. So when I was in school, I used to sell abacha in school.
Okay.
So I'll make abacha during prep time.
Wow.
I'll wrap it in nylon. Then people are finished paying me.
Yeah.
Then I'll put it in my school bag. Then I'll go through most of the hostels of people that have paid me to deliver the food, and I collect my money. So I've always loved to make money. I will love to, like, anything that has to do with buying and selling. So I just feel like this whole entrepreneurship thing I do is kind of something that I'm born with, and nothing has ever failed in my hands.
So you were torn between serving God full time and then doing entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship
Even if I ended up as a pastor, I'm still going to be a businessman. I'm not a pastor, but I still believe like everybody will not be at the pulpit. It's all about being a good Christian. So entrepreneurship is my thing. And even God called a lot of people to different places, not just be on the pulpit and you're preaching. Maybe my own is in the business place where I found myself. So growing up, we're 8. I'm from a family of 8.
Wow. What number are you?
I'm the 3rd.
Wow.
So because of both parents,
Yeah.
we all understand business. All my siblings, like 5 of us, we all understand business.
Okay.
Because if we're not at our mom's shop, we follow our dad to office. So growing up, I understood buying and selling early.
Okay.
Because I see my mom do it, and even most times I stay in her shop. I say, okay, do the selling. When she comes back, I will do accounts. The first time I understood what bookkeeping is in a normal traditional sense was my mom teaching me where to record my profits, my expenses. The first time was my mom taught me, you write your expense, what you spent here, you write your profit here. So it has just been it. I sort of come from a family of, my mom groomed the early stage of the entrepreneurship part of my life.
So she was supportive of that.
When I was in CIC,
Yeah.
I entered in, because CIC has this first to 7th A class, 7th to 15th B class, and so 7 each, because it's a big school. Then I entered in as a B student. I was in B class. Then I failed.
Okay.
So when I failed and I went to C class, so they slashed all my provision and pocket money.
Oh wow.
So when they now give me money for provision to go to school, I'll now give it to my mom to help me buy abacha and ingredients that I will use and sell in school, because I will survive making small money in school than carrying those provisions back to school. So my mom has been very supportive. The only thing she will always say is, whatever you do in business, don't try to take anything that is not your own. If the money is not clean, don't touch it. So we are from a family where if I come home now, I know when I start making money, and my mom had to sit me down to say, give me explanation. I don't care whether it's 500 billion, you have to give me explanation. So ever since then, she understands that, and also knowing that I grew up also wanting to serve God. I'm trying to, I won't say I'm a perfect Christian, but I try my best to, as much as I can. So I also know that I won't do anything that will conflict a Christ-like person.
Okay. So what is business like here in Enugu in general?
Now we have a governor that is trying to expand the city. He's doing a whole lot. Business is speaking here, but it's still an emerging market. A lot of businesses are coming in, the spending power is going up. You know, we have more than 20 tertiary institutions, I think around 18, I don't know, but we know, I think we're the highest, and this is the highest density of young people. So a lot of people come here to school, so a lot of businesses are coming. Enugu is growing. In the next 4 to 5 years, will be better. Enugu is going to join the likes of the big three very soon. You know, the big three in Nigeria, Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt. I think Enugu is going to be the number 4 very soon because of everything that's happening. A lot of businesses are opening up here, a whole lot of businesses. So money is flowing.
So would you go to another Nigerian state and then set up a branch of your business? Would you do something like that?
Yeah, we're already in Abuja, but now that we're pivoting to FMCG, because I won't say because I'm from here I won't leave. As business grows, you try to position it to where it's going to work. I know one thing about manufacturing is where you are manufacturing has a huge role in your cost. If at some point I have to move the factory to where it's going to be closer for raw materials to come in and we'll process, so we'll bring down cost of running, cost of the raw materials, cost of logistics, I'm going to do that. Yes, Nigeria, we're all Nigerians. So if I see, and as we continue to move, and I see a good state that is also going to help reduce cost and where we're going to be closer to what we want to do, I'm going to move, definitely.
Okay, perfect. What's Mamae Foods?
Okay, Mamae is a healthy spice company. Sometime in long time ago, let me not call the year because I want to keep it. I lost 2 friends to cancer, and it was actually a very dark moment. And in the course of also trying to do my own personal research on what causes cancer, I started finding out that most of what we eat, aside the environment, but most of what we eat, then that also made me to start, before I buy any food, I'll look at the label. I'll look at the label of the food, like turn the back, look at the ingredients, what is inside it, and I started finding out something. We eat a whole lot of things and they're not actually very healthy. A whole lot of preservatives, a whole lot of MSG. MSG is not bad, but most times every single thing we eat when you make a meal, because it's doing almost every single thing we use to make food, it becomes too much. A whole lot of sodium, a whole lot of chemicals, a lot of preservatives, and that actually drove us to, and we started asking questions. How can we avoid all these junks? How can we reduce it? How can we eat healthy? So we found a niche in spice. We found out that 80 to 40% of the spices in the market are not healthy. They are more interested in profits and a lot of packaging and branding. Even in our deck, we used to say, when you remove the packaging and branding of most of these big companies, what they are selling, is it actually healthy? Our product doesn't have any chemical, MSG, preservative, just natural and organic, like our parents and our grandparents used to. Because if you look at now, life expectancy is actually dropping drastically. Everybody's paying attention to the environment. A lot of people are not paying attention to what we eat as human beings. So that is what is fueling the passion for Mamae, and losing friends that I know that if they were alive by now, at least my life would have been much better, because they were actually very supportive in our early stages of building Bleafric. They were like backbones. They were like people who were very close to us, did a whole lot of support. So you lose people, and that throws you into a place where you start, aside questioning God and asking questions, you also start doing your own research. What causes this thing? What is this about? Every year there is a whole lot of sensitization on cancer, but most of those sensitization actually doesn't touch a whole lot of key areas like what we eat. You have to, I tell everybody, before you put anything in your food, can you check what the spice or the seasoning is actually made of? Some actually sodium, color, formulated this, formulated that, and we consume these things. So when you don't consuming all these things, what will life expectancy be like in the next 10 years? And most of these companies use a whole lot of preservatives. And I'll give you an example. If you want to make a pot of stew, you're going to add nothing less than 4 to 5 different seasoning. The ones you season your meat with, the one you add when you are done with the tomatoes, the one you add with this.
Then the one you add at the end when you've tasted it and you just needed a bit more.
Have you taken time to look at what those things are made of? You will see that a lot of people are eating poison every day. I'm not coming after the whole of healthy ones. There are some healthy ones, but we're playing a niche for people who want to find an alternative, or people who want to take care of their health. If you buy any product and you go to this nutrition information, read what is here. Most of those things are like color, formulated this, formulated that. They're not organic. I can remember that day, I and my friend, that's one of my partner, we just sat down and we said, okay, if a lot of people are going to die of cancer, what can we contribute? We focused on research. We spent a lot of money on research because coming from media background, we don't understand much about food at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So we brought in people, focused on research. Then we found a niche, which is spice. Then the missing thing was we needed someone who understood food, not just now mixing. So we have a female co-founder. Her name is Stacy. She's been a chef for more than 10 years. We sat down with her during the research time and we said, explain all these ingredients to us. We want to play in this field. And at that point, she was also doing something similar to spice. She was also doing spice, but local spice and or local healthy spice and all. And I knew at some point she has spoken to me about coming on board and investing. So with what happened, that was 2 years after she has spoken to me. So with what happened, I had to call her back and say, okay, come, I don't want to do this, but I'm doing it out of pain and passion at this point in time. I've lost someone, but I also need to play in this field because there is something fueling me, not just the profit. So when she came, we did a whole lot of research. We put down all the ingredients on the table. Then another thing we also do is that as we do the mix, we send them to lab.
Okay.
Because we actually also don't want to judge what we are mixing with our own head knowledge.
Okay.
So we send them to labs. We also send to, after when it comes out from the lab, when we get the results, we look at it, we say, oh, this is too much. We need this, reduce this. Then we mix again, we send to lab. Then after we come out from lab, another thing we did, we sent to a whole lot of chefs. We even sent to some chefs in Ghana and Togo. Because I have my friends that used to cook. I said, okay, try this out. First of all, it's not going to be the same thing that you are used to because it doesn't have preservative, it doesn't have MSG, and it doesn't have sodium. It's different, it's healthy. Every single thing inside it is organic. It's been a whole of journey from the 1 year of 6 months of trying to build this. Another thing to pay attention to is the container. The first container we were using at some point, we can't say we're a healthy food brand, but we're also using a container that is not healthy. So we had to rework to this one, which is BP free.
So this is the Mamae packaging?
This is the new container.
Okay.
We'll be using it for 8 months, 9 months now. We only use this for 3 months, and we discovered something. A lot of plastics are laced. You understand? We needed to get one that is BPA free, so it's more healthy because it's food. And this one, like you can see, this product is bad. Air has entered inside this somewhere, but this is airtight and is more healthy. This is not BPA free. So when a lot of people buy products from the stores from containers like this, it's actually also not healthy. So because we're a healthy food brand, we are focusing more on quality. Aside from the content that is inside, the content that is housing what is inside is also very important to us. So that's why we went for this. It's stronger, it's BPA free, and it's healthier because also we don't have preservative inside Mamae. So aside not having preservative inside the content, we're also more interested in the container that we'll package with.
So how much does a bottle like this cost to produce?
Funny enough, this is even cheaper than this.
Okay.
But you have to get this in bulk, MOQ.
Okay.
So we're now in stores, and also we also start exporting. So our first export has actually also gone out of Nigeria because a lot of people actually respect what we do, but now we're also trying to raise funds to actually scale our production.
So where do you export to now?
Okay, we're in Sweden at the moment, but we're doing well with the Scandinavian market. We'll have a distributor in Sweden.
Okay, so how much would a jar of native spice blend cost me in Sweden?
In Sweden, it should cost around, I think, 8 to 10 euros.
8 to 10 euros.
Yeah, but with what we are
for 100 grams.
Yeah, for 100 grams.
Okay.
But we are working on bringing the cost down because our next raise is going to focus on raw material and bigger factory, because the more you buy your raw materials in ton, it affects your cost or the cost of the product.
Okay.
So with time, we are going to scale it down to at least 5 euros.
Okay. Why was it important that this is produced, or this was produced in Nigeria?
Why it's important that it's produced here is because of the flavor, the taste, and the content. Is organic. We own the raw materials. The raw materials, we get every single thing from here.
Okay.
And we're also looking at the people who understand what we are mixing and what we're doing. It's not like we can produce outside, but we are a little bit skeptical about whether they're going to get it right. And we also don't want to compromise on it's something getting to be added to it and is no longer organic.
But you have a factory at the minute.
Yeah, we have a mini factory.
Okay. All right. So you're producing this yourself at the moment in your own factory.
Yes.
So maybe even expanding your own factory would be an option for you.
Yes. As once we raise, we're trying to raise because this is not the only product we want to do. We are trying to producing a lot of healthy food lines as we go. It's ranging from snacks to a whole lot of other things. So as we raise, we're in the middle of trying to find an investor at this point. We're actually going to scale our factory. It raises our production capacity so we can actually meet demand.
You said you're raising currently. How much are you raising?
We are looking at 400 to 500k.
Okay. And what would that do?
We're going to invest that in our factory, and we need to expand. Every single month is going to go to factory and raw material because, like I said, if we can get the raw materials in bulk, deal with farmers directly, it's actually going to reduce the cost of the product, so more people can be able to afford it. Because at this point, a lot of people can afford it, but we still want a lot of people who can't to be able to afford it when we reduce the price.
So how did you go from being a company that manufactures spices in Enugu to having European distributors?
Every single thing is digital. So we started putting our story out there, and we met the guy on Twitter.
Oh wow.
So when one of the posts we made about healthy food, so he picked interest, he reached out, and we had conversations, and first of all he paid in full for half the container that we sent to Sweden for the first time. Got into Sweden, they did their checks, and it passed. So we're in business with him. We're going to be sending more products to Sweden, and we're also trying to expand across other places around.
How are you ensuring quality control?
In our factory, we have a lot of systems in place. We have a quality control manager. We have 2 quality control managers that look at every single thing, from when the raw materials come in because these products are in different species. We'll have a quality person that tests to know whether this is the kind of raw material we're actually going to use. If it's not, they send it back. So from that, it moves to the next person. So we have a system of how things work, and it's something that we actually take very serious.
And do your quality control measures adhere to international standards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
How do you know that?
Because we are not just working with people we pick from the streets. We have consultants on this project. Like I said, most of our money goes to, when we are setting up, we spent a lot of money on research and development. So these were part of the things that we put in place from the first time that we started running.
When you sent to Sweden and they done checks, do you know what they checked?
So how they work is when you send to them, it passes through their own authorities, and so they send you a result, which they also send to us and said, oh, this can be sold here.
Where are you taking me, Brian?
Okay, I'm taking you to Raban store. So in the city of Enugu, we are like in over 10 stores, but I'm just taking you to one of them, which is Raban, and we're in like 5 Raban stores in Enugu already. So we're going to the one in Tinker's Corner, so you see the product listed on the shelf. Okay.
Perfect. How long have you been in Raban? What did it take to get you into Raban?
We went through the process. You send you bring your product, they vet it, you bring your NAFDAC, you bring your lab test, you bring all your certificates. So when they confirm the order, then you have an agreement with them, then you list. It's not, but they do their check to make sure that the product is NAFDAC approved and all the necessary documents that you need to bring. It took us about 1 month to do the whole finalization thing.
So what type of agreement or deal, of course you don't need to go into the specifics, but do you have with Raban? So are they buying from you and selling, or are you listing and then you drive your traffic to Raban?
Okay, with Raban at this point, we list and we drive our traffic. What is called SQR. So for a period of, for the next 3 months, we're going to be on SQR. So when they check the sales of the product, they can now start buying from us. But now we're the ones driving the traffic to sell the product. So which is, I think that's the standard of big stores.
Perfect. So how are you driving the traffic as it is? What are your strategies for doing that?
We're using digitals mainly. We're running a lot of campaigns. Then most times we'll have people in the stores to talk to people. We'll have in-store marketers to talk to people. They introduce the products to them, and most of the times they buy.
Perfect. Sounds good. So this is the jollof one. This is masala. You've got here your pepper soup mix, all-purpose native spice. Okay, they're all priced differently. Is there a reason? Do you know? So you've got
The prices are not the same
Okay, why?
because the ingredients in all of them are not the same.
Alright,
Even when you
okay.
check most of these other products, the prices are not the same. This is one of the stores we are actually listed
Okay.
here. We've been listed here for like 2 months.
Okay.
So we're hoping to sell off. People, like as you can see, this whole place is already, the last time I came where it was listed, it was full.
Oh, wow.
So now it's going down. People are buying the product. People understand what we're saying. So when we keep pushing our marketing, people keep buying. So hopefully, by God's grace, we'll expand into other stores.
I think you've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Our marketing team is actually on their toes. We're working on it.
Okay.
We're working on it.
So who's the target audience?
Obviously, we're targeting everybody because this is food and this is healthy food. We're targeting everybody that wants to eat clean. Anybody that wants to eat clean because, like Jerry said, life in every meal. Everybody eats food. Yeah.
From the data analysis that you've seen, who are your biggest, so what age bracket, demographic, gender, who is the biggest consumer of what you're selling?
Funny enough, I love older generation buying Mamae
Okay.
because I think maybe they're the ones that understand the benefit of what we're trying to do. You know, a lot of young people don't still pay attention to what they eat, but the age from 45 to 50, like I said, we have a professor in UNTH, he's a doctor, so kids buying in cartons, and because she understands the health benefits of what we're trying to do, and aside that, the flavor will have, like, I would not like to brag, but we'll have a better flavor.
So thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you loved this video and you want to see more, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Brain, where are you?
I'm here. I'm here.
So thank you very much for joining me today. It's been super interesting finding out about your brainchild, Mamae Foods, and of course what you're doing with Blue Africa and what you've done across the years.
We really had fun today, sharing our story, every single thing we've done in the last 12 years. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. So if anyone wants to contact you, how do they do that?
Okay, on across all our digitals, Mamae Foods, MAMAE_foods. So that's our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So if you just send us a message, we're going to respond. We're very active on digitals because we're using digitals to push our product. Then my personal handle is Brian_Okoli, BRAIN_OKONLI. So if you write me, I'm going to respond. That's also my name, my handle across all digitals: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even on LinkedIn.
So once again, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Chioma Meets. If you want to see more of his content, please like, comment and subscribe. Do you have any suggestions on who I should be talking to next? Please send me a message on my socials and I will be more than happy to speak to you. Bye bye for now.